Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Enterprise Group's channel, excelling in specialized equipment and services to build up the infrastructure and energy and pipeline along with construction. Joining us today is the Senior Vice President, Desmond O'Kell. As always, welcome back, sir.
Oh, glad to be here.
Yeah, especially on today, because we're talking about some pretty exciting earnings release that just came out after the incredible discussions we've had about some of the growth and the partnerships you guys are taking on in Q1. Let's roll back to that fourth quarter because the results are in. 5.7 million in revenue with an EBITDA of over 1.5 mil, which was a 52% increase over the year, which is pretty incredible. I mean, in the industry you're in, and just showing some resiliency, especially through some of the volatility of the oil industries and what we saw, especially in Canada through this pandemic. But it looks like we're coming out on the other side of this beautifully. Do you want to just offer some insights on that earnings?
Yeah, for sure, Kyle. Well, things are really right where we'd like them to be honest with you. We mentioned earlier that the back half of 2021, we started to see an increase in activity levels. So the comparative fourth quarter that you saw there is really representative of what we're seeing out in the field. Good increases. What we're really enjoying is the positioning of the company. We've spent a good amount of time during the energy downturn in Canada, like I said, right-sizing the businesses, making sure operations are responsible at every level. And what that does when you start to get an increase in activity levels and the opportunities that we've had here very recently to get some price increases happening because of demand on equipment and so forth, it's really starting to translate into the earnings and EBITDA that you're beginning to see in that Q4. So that sort of outlook going forward, if we continue to see these kinds of activity levels, our clients being active in the field, developing their resources and what have you, you're going to see that kind of trajectory that you can identify from certainly the Q4 of previous and on. So we are liking what we're seeing. We're adding some new client names to the list, which is something that we like to do on a regular basis, is bring on some new names that are active and have good CapEx.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like I said, everything we've discussed in the videos prior, which I highly recommend you guys go and check out, because those contracts are rather interesting, large, especially in this comeback of the commodities and just what's going on in Alberta out there. But still, nonetheless, you guys have taken advantage of some of the downturn here, and I've noticed that you were able to do a bit of share buybacks as well. You want to talk a little bit about the cap structure kind of moving forward there?
Yeah, certainly. Well, at the moment, there's about 47.5 million shares, I think 47.6 million shares. That used to be 55 million and change prior to the initiation of the NCIB. So I think we're collectively during the start of the buyback, we bought back just over 8 million shares, which is about 17% of the outstanding to start with. So it's been effective. Obviously, we had a chance to acquire those shares while the company was trading less than we are today. But nevertheless, that's a very decent program that we've been able to put on. In 2021, it equated to about just over 2 million shares. So it's been active. It hasn't been entirely aggressive, but it's been doing its job. You talk about the share structure. 47.6 million. Management and directors are now over 34% in ownership, and primarily the rest is the retail public. We're starting to get a little more institutional interest now that the segment has turned around. Calls are starting to come in from individual investors and institutions. So, it shows that the segment we're in is starting to get the interest that we haven't seen in some years.
Yeah, and on that note, in this period of extreme volatility, I don't think investors could ask for better highlights coming out of you, between more conviction, share buybacks, insider ownership, and then just looking at the contracts and the partnerships that are coming online through Q1. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? So on that note, Desmond, I appreciate you coming out and offer us some insights today. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
And on that note, folks, let us know what you think in that comment section below. Perhaps we can do an investor Q&A down the road. Consider subscribing for that news as it hits the wire. We'll be putting it right up here. But stay cool, stay awesome. And as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.